Hello everyone, Statname here. Today we have a new hero for you. His nickname is T54T97. We're gonna go over some of his hands. Today he mostly plays 200 NL. As of now we have 87k hands on him. His win rate is 12.3 BBs per 100, 30-23. 1-1 soft flop 51, 1-out showdown 49, aggression frequency by streets 44, 43, 42. This is all we probably want to know. This is his graph, break even a red line and a really good blue line. Okay, let's move on to some of his hands. First, pocket tens on the hijack, recreational player limps, we ISO to 5 big blinds. By the way, here are recreational player stats, just so we know who we are facing here. Next, regular 3 bets on the big blind, recreational player calls, we also call with the pocket tens. And the effective stack here is around 168 big blinds. Okay, board is 8-4-3, quite low. Regular C bets, about a third of the pot. Recreational player calls, and hero decides to raise. Okay, this is a multi-purpose bet from our hero. First, we get some value from a recreational player's weaker hands he would call here, and also against some of the semi-bluffs in the regulars range. Could be hands like Ace-King suited with relevant suits he might bet here, but of course we are behind his value hands. So we are losing to his overpairs, of course, I mean regulars overpairs, but at the same time our tens work as a bluff against some of his overpairs. I mean, if he has a hand like pocket jacks or pocket queens, then when he faces such a raise, well, he's not very happy about those hands, to say the least. Well, because hero does not have a lot of bluffs in his range in such a spot, because he is in position, and he can easily call all of his flush draws, so there's no need to raise those. However, we do raise here, and yeah, it's really hard to come up with a bluff that we would play this way. I mean, in terms of value, we also do not represent a lot of hands, like basically it's pocket eights and that's it. But at the same time, not so many potential bluffs. Well, maybe some of the flush draws, and that's basically it. So if villain has pocket jacks or pocket queens, it's a really tough spot for him. Probably he should fold all of his jacks already. Queens plus, either, and then queens plus he should probably just shove or call and then decide not to follow in street. So yeah, this raise is basically both the value raise and a sort of a bluff. Anyways, regular folds, recreational player calls, and we get our set on the turn. Well, villain checks and a hero decides to check back. Well, maybe there is some point in checking back. We have some really decent outs against his flush draws. I mean, if 8 of hearts comes on the river, then it's of course a very good spot for us. And yeah, there is some reason to check back here, but I mostly prefer betting with such a hand on the turn. So anyways, a7 comes on the river, and one more thing, the recreational player is somewhat aggressive, and maybe this is the reason why a hero decides to check back his tens, hoping to induce a bluff on the river. Well, I mean, at least he gives him an opportunity to bet if he misses on the river. but villain checks, unfortunately for us, and of course we shove for value and get a call. To be honest with you, I don't know the showdown. I never saw this hand to the end before, but I'm guessing he has like something like pocket nines, maybe an 8x combo. Let's see. Oh yeah, pocket nines. Yeah, a pretty decent pot for us, and let's move on. What do we have next? Next we have ace king on the big blind. So here we are oh no, it's a recreational player as well. On the button we 3-bet ace king offsuit on the big blind, and he calls. Oh, I remember this one. I remember the reason why I chose this one. Let's take a look at a villain's stats. Won at showdown 41, won soft flop 52, high aggression frequency on each street 42, 46, 50. So a very aggressive guy, and against this type of players we don't want to bet ourselves. We want to give him the initiative and just wait for him to bleed his money away. And this is exactly what Hero does. He checks on the flop after 3-betting pre-flop. He gives his opponent an opportunity to bet with his air to generate a maximum EV. 6 on the turn is a complete brick, so nothing improved, no new draws basically. So yeah, mostly villain still has air in his range, like a lot of air. We of course call again, and 7 on the river. Villain shoves, we of course call. This was our entire plan, and he shows ace 4. So yeah, a random hand and easy money for us. Okay, let's move on to the next hand. Okay, we have King Jack suited on the small blind. We face a raise and a call from a recreational player. 36-13, well, he's not bleeding too much money, but he's a losing player. Then button squeezes, and we decide to cold 4-bet on the small blind. Well, recreational player, after calling an open raise and then facing a 3-bet and a 4-bet, decides to shove. Button folds, and the decision is on Hero. And the reason I marked this hand is that I think Hero makes a mistake here. Let's take a look at recreational player's stats again. He's playing 36-13 with 2.1% 3-bet. And I want to point out that this 2.1% 3-bet is not only strongest hands. Like usually with guys who 3-bet, who has such a low 3-bet percentage, they mostly play those premium hands. Well, not following a randomizer, of course, but based on their state of mind at this moment. Like sometimes they would call pocket aces, pocket kings, sometimes they would 3-bet those. And this means that when he calls and open a mean raise from the hijack, he can easily call with pocket aces or pocket kings. So yeah, the idea is that he can easily have pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, pocket jacks, pocket tens in his call shoving range. And yeah, I'm talking here about specifically this type of players. So yeah, he shoves and villain decides to call with king jack suited. And I think it's a mistake. Well, maybe Hero just didn't pay attention to a recreational player's stats because this line in itself looks quite weak, right? Guy calls an open raise, then he sees a lot of aggression and decides to shove. It looks quite bluffy. He can call like a weak pocket pair, and then after all of this action decide to shove pocket pair to steal the pot, like things like that. So yeah, against this line, against this type of line, we sometimes have enough equity to call with king jack suited. I mean, we need like 35% equity, and yeah, of course, against a weak range, we have enough with king jack suited. However, against such a specific opponent, I think we never have enough equity with this hand, because we will mostly see premiums, and well, I don't think he will overplay his medium and low pocket pairs. So yeah, I think the best range we can hope for is ace queen suited plus and 10 plus, but most likely ace king and 10 plus and 10s plus. This is the like the basis of his call shoving range. Anyways, hero calls, as I said earlier. Eventually he hits second pair on the river and beats aces. Such a bad beat for the villain, but yeah, what can you do? Okay, in the next video we will either go in detail over those two regular stats from this video and the previous one, or maybe we will go over more hands. We'll see. So this is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye.